Today you'll be riding along as my best friend and I attend the 2-day Ford Performance Racing School to improve our track skills. Welcome to day 1 at the Ford Performance Racing School. The morning kicked off with sizing for race suits and helmets.
I said Didn't I say it's going to be too small? Too small on you and too big on her. Do you need a bigger size?
Yeah, it went inside of me. Hold on, he said. My gnome panties. Oh my god, it took.
Zip this. Can you zip me? It won't zip. Oh.
After a classroom session about ground rules and details of the program, it was time to get familiar with our Dark Horse Mustangs and then go out for some initial drills. The first drills were focused on braking from a high speed quickly and getting comfortable with it. I didn't really understand why, but I soon realized how crucial braking skills are on the track, and I'll talk more about that later. The other drill was a bit like an autocross setup and focused on approaching turns as well as braking. This skid car was my least favorite drill. I wanted to drift it. They didn't want me to drift it. Some people really benefited from this drill, but I was not one of them. Once we completed the drills, it was time to head to the actual track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And, of course, I needed to find out how the V8 Dark Horse sounded in this tunnel. We had one quick classroom session about the hairpin track layout, then headed to our cars for our first lead-follow laps. We started in groups of 4, and the instructors evaluated us during the lead-follow laps, then debriefed with us after the laps.
So I always tell people the car in front of you is your soft look, the hard look beyond. Look through the windshield, the side of the car.
After a couple lead-follow sessions and debriefs, it was time to turn us loose to the track for an open session. This was my first time ever getting any formal instruction on a track. The skills involved with reading a track and learning the lines will make track days even more fun. This was a really beneficial day for me to build on my raw skills and start to undo some bad habits. Day 1 was full of skill development, and day 2 was bringing even more learning and a bigger track setup. I started day 2 the same way I started day 1, with some Dark Horse revving. We did not waste any time diving in. After a brief meeting, we went to the track to discuss some of the nuances through the turns and talked about maintaining the line, using the elevation changes, and a whole lot more. Then it was time to gear up and get ready for our first instructor-led laps on the full roval.
As well as the changes in elevation.
The full roval incorporates more of the banked positions of the track and also a couple of chicanes, and it is a longer course. So it was great to do these lead follow laps to mimic the instructor's line and learn our marks. As we got more comfortable, we built some more speed, got a little more aggressive, and that can sometimes lead to some mistakes like this. The great news is that we got to debrief after each track session, so we could evaluate the laps and learn from our mistakes, like my little wiggle.
So we just tell people stay on that lane. But yeah, just watch that right foot.
It's such a little foot though.
I stayed right with you guys.
It's got a heavy sole. It's got some blood in there, you know.
I caught right up to you guys.
You learned. The next time you did good.
I mentioned earlier that I learned the importance of braking, and that was probably my biggest takeaway lesson. I learned that I needed to brake harder and later, and also got a lot of knowledge about how to time my braking properly to optimize my times and maintain my speed.
What happened?
Nothing, because they were both in automatics. So when they get out on the straight, they're gone, and my shit's in lower here. So then,
Nice job. That was awesome. You guys look good, man. Yeah, you guys are hitting your marks. Like
One final debrief, and it was time to turn us loose for one final open session on the full Rollville.
yeah, you don't want to do that. That's what you don't like because you're on that paint. You know, you're on that paint, man. That's not going to mix well. Yeah, you just got to kind of roll.
My instructor, Matt, and the entire Ford Performance Racing School team were great to learn from. They were patient and had fun approaches to helping us learn and improve. This was my first time driving on a banked track, and holy shit was it fun. A couple more open sessions, and that was a wrap on my 2-day Ford Performance Racing School. I had a blast and learned a shit ton of skills and information. I'm looking forward to getting my STO on the track again to put some of these skills to use and maybe return to Charlotte for the Advanced Racing School. Make sure you smash those like and subscribe buttons, and I'll catch you next episode.